well, how do we get them from one place to the other, I just thought, well, we'll put them in a car and we'll have some nice compelling conflict because like they'll butt heads a lot because they don't really know each other.
And, you know, as long as you're talking about that, one question I did want to ask you, because the Rideshare Killer has a number of driving scenes, and you got the little trailer, and I always was thought about, because I was following along as you guys were shooting this, and I can't remember, maybe you can talk about that just briefly, shooting those driving scenes. How did you get that process trailer, and how much do those typically cost, and then what do you actually need to set that up and actually shoot there?
Yeah, so we have a number of scenes that take place in the car with them actually moving. We did make a couple of decisions that a couple of scenes in the car, we would have the car not moving, just to minimize the number of moving car scenes. So I was just like, they can have the conversation in the car, but it can be parked at the side of the road. So a couple of the scenes we changed that, but there are certain scenes where Jack is a Lyft driver, and so they pick up, as they're going around, they pick up a couple of different fares. And for those, obviously, they have to be moving. And so a bit naive, I thought we could just like steal those scenes. We could just put the DP in the front seat with the camera and just do it all handheld and blah, blah, blah. However, the closer we got to production, the two main characters, Cassie and Trevor, at some point they were like, look, us driving the car in traffic and trying to act in a scene is bad. It's going to be bad for our acting, and it's also going to be bad for safety. It's just going to be unsafe. We need to figure out like a way to do a camera car, on a trailer. At which point in time, we had to rethink our budget because we had a very shoestring budget, but we didn't have enough. We certainly didn't budget for that. Mm-hmm. And you need a permit, and you need cops if you're driving on regular roads, and we had to do it all legit. We couldn't do any of it guerrilla style because then if God forbid anything happens, your insurance will kill you. So we had to do everything legit. We rented a trailer and we got permits. We hired cops on motorcycles, and we made sure to do a handful of scenes all in one day. We would do all the driving shots in one day and just keep it very simple. The camera car was actually fairly affordable, all things considered. And you can find these guys pretty easily. And he kind of gave us friend prices, even though he wasn't a friend. He was like, basically, he's like, look, if I have nothing else going on that day, I'd rather rent it to you for 75%, of my usual price than to rent it to no one. So we got kind of lucky that he didn't have anyone renting it that day. And we found a parking lot. We rigged it up. It took about 2 hours. We rigged it up with cameras and lights and sound, and then we just drove it around, shooting our scenes, just basically up and down Vineland.
And just in just general, additional, like for that day, how much additional cost would you say it was for the cops and the process trailer and the permits?
That day cost 25% of our budget.
Okay. So it definitely was steep, but you just felt like it definitely merited the higher production value.
The higher production value, yes, and B, honestly, the safety of it. Like, there's only so much you can push the line, but at some point you just have to go, look, we have to spend our money on this. There's no other way around it, and it looks cool. Like the shots that we got on the trailer look great. If I don't mind tooting my own horn, but it looks good. And it does add production value. Little things like that add production value and just bring your movie up a notch,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we did not use the process trailer in RSK, so we'll see. People can compare and contrast the driving scenes. Because we did exactly what you said. We had the DP in the front seat, squished into the floor with a camera that was way too big for the thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts, or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.